Would anyone like to take a guess at what is 4,000 weeks long? It is the average human lifespan. So you're really going to tell me that I was born into this ginormous world with a vast variety of places and people and animals and art, and I won't be able to even experience a fraction of it? What kind of bullshit is that? I was recently scrolling through classes to take at university. I was looking for something within writing or directing, and I ended up with 20 plus tabs open. Nutritionist, dog trainer, gardener, chef, interior designer, performer. I want to do it all and I want to be it all, or at least try them. Let's just say that I was a difficult kid in this regard. I'm 27 and I'm still a difficult kid who called her mom at least once a week with a new idea or plan. Mom, should I backpack Europe? And I'll bring Fred with me. Mom, I think it would be really cool to be an interior designer. Mom, I think I'm applying to film school. I have a fear of not experiencing life as much as I can. I fear that I'm taking life for granted. What can I say? Life really excites me, and I don't remember the last time that I was bored. In fact, oftentimes I'm the opposite of bored. I'm overstimulated with all the things that I want to do at every given moment and overwhelmed with the fact that I need to pick only one thing. I'm curious, perhaps too curious for my own good. Philosophies, skills, causes, there's always something to do or to learn about. There's so many lives to live. I'm just in constant awe of the fact that millions of years of evolution has led to me being here at this very moment. The odds of that happening was basically zero for all of us, and yet here we are. 80 years, 4,000 weeks. That's the average human lifespan, if we're lucky, which is absurdly, terrifyingly, insultingly short. Oliver Burkeman wrote in his book 4,000 Weeks. Now, some people don't even have time to think about other things than surviving and providing for themselves and for their families. What I'm talking about today isn't a problem, it's just something I think about. The reality is that we'll never be able to do all the things here in life. No matter how much we schedule and try to manage our time. And I don't know about you, but I'm having a hard time accepting that. I sometimes wish that I had the time turner that Hermione had in The Prisoner of Azkaban, the one that enabled her to take multiple classes at once. If I had that time turner right now, I would be sitting here talking about this, and I would be playing with my dog, and I would be making myself breakfast because my stomach is growling. I sometimes just hate that life is a series of decisions, because with everything that we choose, we're also choosing not to choose something else. I think it definitely partly stems from a fear of commitment. Am I spending my time wisely? Am I prioritizing the right things? Am I doing what's meaningful and what matters? And am I pursuing the wrong thing? We all want to make the best decisions for ourselves. But the truth is that we don't know the outcome of anything, ever. We don't know whether or not we will be satisfied with the choices that we make. We don't know whether or not we will feel happy or fulfilled, not until we've done the damn thing. And by that time, it might be too late and we're haunted by the words, what if I would have chosen differently? Life is a guessing game, and we're all just winging it, hoping for the best outcome. And sometimes we're afraid of making the wrong choice, and so we end up choosing nothing at all. But that too is a choice.
How the hell does one navigate through all of this?
Let's talk about that. Let's take a quick break to talk about one of my favorite spots to go to when I want to find new topics that I would have otherwise probably not been exposed to. It's this place called Skillshare, and you might have heard of it. They're actually sponsoring this portion of the video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for anyone who loves learning. And with each class that you take, you can connect with other like-minded people who are taking the same classes, so it's very friendly. Even though the reality is that we can't become great at everything, we can learn a little bit about a lot of things. And for someone like me, and perhaps like you, who can't get enough of exploring a range of different topics, Skillshare is my go-to, as you can take classes on everything from writing to filmmaking and creativity and animation. For example, I started taking this class called Indoor Gardening, Grow Houseplants, Veggies, and Herbs. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been talking quite a bit about wanting to grow my own herbs on my balcony, and so taking this class is a great place to start. I highly recommend checking out Skillshare. I've had my membership for over 2 years now, I think, and I've gotten tons of value out of it. And the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so that you can start exploring your creativity today. You know how you read a book, and in that book there's a reference to another book, and so you look up that book, and through that book you find a new author, and through that author you find a different genre of books that looks interesting, and through that genre you find an article, and in that article you come across a study, and through that study you come across a psychologist, and through that psychologist you learn about a theory, and now you want to explore that and all the other steps that led you to that point. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Don't go down the rabbit hole. It's something that I keep telling myself. And here is what I'm trying to do about all of this. I realize that I'll never be an astronaut and I'll never be a professional ballerina, but I can be a writer and I can be a good cook and I can have a beautiful home and I can dress nicely and I can be a good dog mom, learn about different languages, play the piano, and maybe even be a decent gardener. I can create art and I can become a better runner and perhaps even a painter. I can be super outgoing when I want and I can crawl back into my shell when I want, and I can care about my appearance and still be smart, and I can talk about silly things and still have depth. I don't want to be boxed in. You know, I don't want labels. What I can't do is become great at all of those things. But I don't think that's necessarily what I want either. I just want to experience them. You know, I would feel content having grown one lemon tree. You know, I don't need to fill a garden with them. I don't need to be good enough at it to teach it to anyone. I just want to have gone through the process at least once. And realizing that I'm not trying to become an elite at everything is liberating somehow. We all want to be the best partner, child, parent, son, daughter, friend, employee, boss, homemaker, lover, peacemaker. As David Allen wrote, you can do anything but not everything. So for example, you know, technically I could train my dog for 4 hours a day and have him be the perfect dog who heels by default and who never pulls, but that would take away from time that I spend on other things that are important to me too. And perhaps that means that I will only have a decently well-behaved puppy. Or for example, if I spend 2 extra hours on these videos, they would be more cinematic and the storytelling would be more compelling. But those 2 hours are spent cooking and tidying my home, you know. Sure, I could order in the food and that would save me time, but cooking makes me happy and so does having a clean home. The point is that I'm practicing being okay with that sort of stuff. To be okay with the fact that I will never be at a point where I'm completely on top of everything. I think finding a balance is what we want, but what does balance even look like? What does it look like to me? What does it look like to you? Does it look like juggling many things at once? Does it look like doing one thing at a time? You know, it's going to look different for everyone, but I think one thing that I dare say we all have in common is this innate desire to enrich those 40,000 weeks that we each have on average. And figuring out what that entails for each of us, I guess that's the hard part.